All right, thanks, guys. The Blackhawks take on the Canadiens. 7:30 Eastern puck drop in Montreal. The Canadiens are the $1.75 favorite, total at 6. Not a whole lot of movement on this total, although we did see a 10-cent move toward Montreal in the early wagering. They open $1.65 up to minus 175. Total open and remains at 6 flat. 55% are leaning Montreal, 54% shaded toward the under. Right now, Chicago's plus $1.55 on the money line. Montreal plus $1.50 on the puck line. We have Charlie Lindgren for Montreal, Corey Crawford for the Blackhawks. Now, if you like Corey Crawford in this matchup here, he's coming into this game with a .906 save percentage. Meanwhile, Charlie Lindgren on the other side, a little bit green on the year, not a whole lot of experience. He's 0-2 on the season, .308 goals against. Chicago, 3-2 straight up in their last 5. They rank 13th in the NHL in road scoring. Patrick Kane's got 24 goals on the year, 35 assists, 59 total points. And Jonathan Toews, 12 goals on the year, 26 assists for him. The Chicago squad, very good on the puck line away from home. They're 15-7 against the spread on the road this year. Now, Montreal on the other side, losers of 8 out of their last 10. They actually lost to Detroit during that stretch of games. They're also very bad at home this year. Just 9-11-4 on their home ice. 7-17 against the spread in those 24 home games. They rank in the bottom 10 in home scoring, bottom 10 in goals allowed at home. They're scoring just 2.7 goals per contest on average on their home ice. Total-wise, we're looking at a Montreal team. No surprises here. They are 16-8 to the under on their home ice as well. I'm going to lean Chicago plus 1.5 and the under 6 goals in that game. And before we go ahead and handicap our next and final game for the show, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Wednesday's NHL action. But before we dive into our next game, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are currently on a heater. We are hot right now. And as a matter of fact, we are 5-0 in our last 5 daily best plays on that website. The daily best play costs you just $1.99 per month. We do have a bunch of different membership tiers and packages that you can subscribe to. And I'll tell you this much, my current record on Patreon is a lot better than it is here on YouTube, handicapping every single game on the board, side and total. And you might be wondering, well, why would I buy a package when you just give me the picks for free here on YouTube? And that's a great thought. That's a great question. And that's exactly what I do on YouTube. I do free lines and personal leans in hopes that you would at least just consider checking out my website. And the problem with that is if you bet every single game on the board, both the side and the total, you're guaranteed to lose your money in the long run. And as a matter of fact, you're probably going to end up losing your money in the short run as well. It's just way too many games. The more games you bet like that, the more egregious the math becomes against you. The books are way too smart. They're way too sharp. So what we do on Patreon is we make it a lot easier for you. We give you the plays, and basically we just kind of condense it down and focus in on 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're high percentage selections, games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much, my current Patreon record is a whole lot better than it is here on YouTube, handicapping every single game on the board. And you can actually check out my current record for free right now. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. Once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Flyers taking on the Blues. 8 o'clock Eastern puck drop in St. Louis. The Blues are minus 175, total at 6. Now, we're seeing a bunch of movement on this game, both on the side and the total. We saw a 10-cent move towards St. Louis and movement upward on the total. St. Louis open $1.65 up to minus 175. Total open 5.5 up to 6 goals. 73% are leaning St. Louis, 68% shaded toward the over. Right now, Philadelphia is plus $1.55 on the money line. St. Louis plus $1.40 on the puck line. We have Jordan Binnington for the Blues, Brian Elliott for the Flyers. Carter Hart suffered a lower body injury in practice yesterday. A huge loss there, but Brian Elliott comes into this game for the Flyers with a 316 goals against and an 896 save percentage. Meanwhile, Binnington on the other side, he's been awesome. 22-7-1 on the year, 247 goals against, 917 save percentage. St. Louis has been awesome at home this year, 17-4-3 on their home ice. They're right in the middle of a 4-game winning streak. They rank the top 5 in goals allowed, top 10 in shots allowed. David Perron, 20 goals on the year, 26 assists, 46 points. And Braden Shen, the former Flyer, 23 assists on the year, 40 points. Pietrangelo and Thomas, they are both plus 12 for the Blues as well when they are on the ice. St. Louis ranks in the top 3 in goals allowed at home, top 5 in shots allowed at home as well. The St. Louis defense is giving up just 2.2 goals per contest on their home ice. Now Philadelphia on the other side, struggling when traveling this year, just 9-13-2 on the road, 10-14 against the spread in those games. They've dropped 5 out of their last 7 hockey games, and they've lost to the Kings and San Jose within their last 10 matchups. They rank in the bottom 3 in goals allowed on the road, 19th in road scoring. Now 6 out of Philadelphia's last 9 did get over the total. They're also 14-10 to the over when traveling. I'm going to lean St. Louis minus 1.5 and the over 6 goals in that game. Of course, I'm going to slide into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are 5-0 in our last 5 daily best plays on that website, and that costs just $1.99 per month. Shout out to Eric Willingham, Matthew James, SOP, LFD Stalker, Drew Pranks, Eunice Anus is cool. Shout out to Jordan B, Raw Honey from New Orleans, Palmer Sanders, New Era 1. Shout out to Sean Navarre, Godbody J, Straight to the Point, PMC05. Shout out to Matt Kaiser, Chrissy Feldman from Germany, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to Stephen Lewis. All right. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. But most importantly, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Wednesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you on patreon.com/BrockPage.